I just want to say it's fantastic to be here in Tapa again. This is the third time I've been to this wonderful place, Kaja. And, you know, the first couple of times I came, we talked about what seemed then to be an entirely theoretical risk. And we talked about the threat to NATO's eastern frontiers. We talked about the risk from Russia. And I have to tell you that today, following what's happened in the last 6 days, that risk is no longer theoretical. And we have to be clear that what is happening in Ukraine is a disaster for the world, it's a disaster for Russia, it's a disaster for Ukraine, and of course it means that we have to fortify our eastern frontier of NATO. And what you are doing, all of you, together, all the nations represented here, and I'm of course particularly proud of the British contribution, but all the nations represented here, you are working together to ensure that people hundreds of miles away, maybe thousands of miles away, are able to live in greater peace and security. Because you are in the front line of our collective Western defense. And I cannot thank you enough for what you're doing. Thank you very much, all of you. I think that what you're doing is fundamental for the safety, security of our nations, but also of our values. Freedom, democracy, independent sovereign nations. That's what we believe in. That's what NATO sticks up for. And thank you for what you're doing. And look, I just want to stress one thing, that and it's a very, very important point, but the conflict in Ukraine is not between the West and Russia. It's not between NATO and Russia, absolutely not. The conflict in Ukraine is about a free, sovereign, independent people trying to protect their liberty. And what we are trying to do is to help them in their self-defense. And I hope you agree that that is the right thing to do, and we will continue to do it. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you for everything that you're doing to guarantee the eastern frontiers of our great, great alliance. I thank you for what you're doing.
Keep it that way.
And well, Kaja says keep it that way, but I'm sure you're going to keep it. I'm sure you're going to keep it that way. Thank you all very much for everything you're doing, and keep going. Thank you.